We're headed into the last weekend of home play, and I think a lot of people are just ramping up for baseball and softball in Madison. It was fun to come back yesterday on the bus from Purdue. You know, we win a series. We won 3 of our first 4 Big Ten series, which is great. But to see the grass green and the flowers blooming, I think it makes going into that last home series, home weekend exciting. We've got the toughest competition we could face. Minnesota and Michigan are both playing really well, both top 25 teams, and they're going to be tough. But I think that's the best way that you could close it out. So we're looking forward to some nice weather. Surprisingly, we've had really nice weather this spring for our other home series. Typically it takes us to the last weekend to get some fans in the stands and some warm weather. And the last 2 weekend series when we had Iowa and Nebraska, we had more than 1,000 fans out for multiple games, which is such a cool thing to see. I think our team's been really fortunate to get to play in front of some big crowds on big stages already. It should make it a little bit easier going into Michigan, at least to get used to the crowd that they should draw this weekend. So we're looking forward to a matchup against the toughest teams here.
You mentioned the start in Big Ten play, but does this weekend or this week really kind of see where you stack up against the best, and how do you approach that with your team?
Yeah, actually, I love the matchup, and the team laughs at me because I say that all the time, when I see matchups that I really like. But I think we're more comfortable playing really good teams. I think we're the most comfortable being underdogs and walking in and facing some of the best teams in the country. So as much as it's on paper, these teams are really, really good, I think that's fun, and we've been in that situation before. If anything, we were uncomfortable being the team favorited or favored on paper. So, I love the matchup. I think it's a great thing, and if you can steal a game in any of these games, it would be huge for the program.
Kelly?
You have some of the best pitchers in the league coming up with Sarah Groenwegen from Minnesota and then Megan Betza from Michigan. What's kind of the game plan against them?
Once again, like I said, when you face really good teams, I think it suits us because you can kind of let it all hang out and just say you're chipping away, you're finding a way to put pressure on them and find a way to win. And so, we've got the team looking at our Louisville tape to get ready for this tape because that was the last All-American pitcher we faced. And the team really approached that game, and they were so loose and confident and excited just to have a chance to kind of take a swing at a really big team. And I loved our relaxed approach. I think the team was really having fun in that series. So I was already emailing and texting and sending video highlights from how they approached that All-American pitcher. But we'll have our work cut out for us.
What did you learn what did you learn about your team after they got swept by Nebraska, obviously coming back and winning these last 2 series?
Nebraska's good. I think that's one of those where, you see a team and sometimes their records don't show quite where they're at the time because Nebraska's tough. But I think that was one of those series that everybody was surprised at how good they were. From a coaching standpoint, we certainly weren't. We know they're a perennial NCAA team. We know they're a World Series program that's been there multiple times. So if anything, it was just kind of eye-opening that some of our young players, I don't think had the full concept of how tough the Big Ten is. I appreciate the conference right now because right now you need strength of schedule. You need to play tough games. So we're in the best conference in the country right now, in my opinion, that we're sitting in the perfect position that you want to face great teams. So I think everyone was a little, caught off guard. But at the same time, our freshman pitcher, Kate Menz, game 1, takes us to extras. So she did what we needed to do, and that's the part we're reinforcing to her of she came out all 4 series, 3 of the 4 series, she wins 2 games for us. And then in that series, Friday night, under the lights against a great team, she holds them down and gives us a chance to win going into the 8th inning. So I thought she really did her job, and we just kind of missed an opportunity. So the message is just every pitch counts, every game counts, and that was such a critical game in that series, and I think everybody realized we let the best chance we had slip away on Friday night.
Caitlin meant she's just a freshman. There's a lot of pressure that can be placed on a freshman when she comes in. She knows she's going to be throwing for a good softball program. She seems to have handled it pretty well.
She has. She's been fun to watch. She's steady. And, you know, when I look at our team right now, we've got some talented kids, but it's those Midwest kids, how just relaxed and solid they are, that it's really leading the charge. So you've got Kate Menz from Iowa, you know, just holding them down. She's not flashy. She is your typical, if you were going to recruit like Wisconsin football or Wisconsin basketball, which have done a pretty good job, or, you know, you look for those kids that are just solid and gamers, the kids that know how to compete. And, you know, I'm certainly paying attention to what goes on at Wisconsin and these other programs that know how to take solid kids that fit within our system and make them great. And, you know, I'm working as fast as I can to get that system going. But Kate Menz has been solid, you know, and even for us, you've got Chloe Miller in the 2 spot, an Iowa kid, and your 3 and 4 hitters are from Chicago. So we've got some talented kids from all over the country. You know, Kelsey Jenkins, our leadoff from Arizona, she's just a ball player. She's phenomenal. But when you can have some solid Midwest kids that you can get a lot out of, I think it makes us a legitimate top 50 Big Ten team, and that means you can really steal a game from anyone.
I wanted to ask you about Chloe Miller. She's up for USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. If she wins it, fantastic. But to be mentioned in that group, that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Right. Oh, yeah. If you make the top 50, it's great. And the fact that they narrowed it down and Chloe's in the top 25, you know, she's been solid her whole career. She's done some really good things. But this senior campaign, she annihilated a couple teams. I mean, for weeks on end, she kind of just put up ridiculous numbers that really people don't even realize. If you can hit 500 going, you know, through your first 5-6 weeks of the season on the road, all those games, you know, and we get into Big Ten play and it's tough because everybody's got her circled, everybody's got her scouted. She's getting walked a lot, so she hasn't gotten to be the hero in as many games, but she still put up some pretty nice home runs. And I'm most impressed that she's making other people around her better. So, you know, she's in the 2 spot, and you see what Brooke Wyderski in the 3 spot has been able to do, benefiting from getting the pitches that Chloe's not getting. And she's really, that kid's having a great season, and from a benefit from people around her making her better.